welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, thank you for visiting my channel. I hope you really like this highlight and contour video that I put together. If you do like it, please do not forget to give it a like and subscribe if you have not, girl. This is the finished product. I hope you guys really like it. I always feel like, you know, you guys already know what blending looks like and you already know what, what I'm doing. So I speed the videos up just so I don't bore my audience. But I was given feedback from a few people that I need to slow it down and also explain what I'm using on my face. So this video is going to be just that. It's not going to be a quick 4-minute video that you're probably used to seeing me post. The first product that I'm using is from Clinique. It's the Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. I bought this from Ulta and this was actually featured in my Ulta haul. It's the first time I've ever purchased this product and I love it so much. I have kind of oily combination skin as it is. I'm very olive. It's clear, so it just dries. It kind of looks like, not to be gross, but it kind of looks like KY jelly. The consistency is a little bit more watery, but I like to just go ahead and put this on my face first. This is my skin just out of the shower, and I'm sorry I look like a morning goblin right now. That's what I feel like I look like without makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that all over my face and on my neck. And this just protects my skin from anything else I'm gonna put on it. You want to put something on your skin, guys. You don't want to just like go ahead and start your day with foundation. At least I can't do that. I would have terrible acne if I did that. This actually creates a barrier between everything you're going to put on your face and your skin. The next product that I'm going in with, you guys have seen this in, if not all my videos, then most of my makeup videos. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. I love this primer. I love it because of the cost, number one. It's super affordable and you only need a tiny little bit, but I really like it because it has like a blurring effect. I don't know if you can see. I'm using my iPhone right now and I plan on getting better equipment at some point in the future. I don't know when I find the camera that I really love and want to spend the money on. So you want to go in because it like fills in your pores. It creates almost like a blurring effect. So I do put it under my eyes. I do put a tiny bit on my eyelids, but this is what really protects your skin. So having a primer in combination with whatever you usually use, if you use a face lotion with or without SPF, you want to put that first and then put your primer on. There are no rules when it comes to makeup. Everything is whatever makes you happy. That's the beauty about makeup, is I truly believe it's an art. The next step here is going to be your foundation. I don't typically always use foundation. I feel like it can be a bit clogging for my skin. I have yet to find one that doesn't kind of break me out a tiny bit. It's just my skin is so sensitive. I do wear it, especially if I have somewhere to go or if I have an important meeting or an event to go to, I will wear it. But most days I go in with a really good BB cream. I believe the BB stands for Beauty Bomb. But this makes me feel like, okay, at least I have a little sunscreen on my face because I am terrified of wrinkles and aging. It hydrates up to 24 hours. It primes the skin. I know I already went in with a primer, but I like to still use this. If you don't have a primer, guys, you can just get BB cream and you can skip the first 2 steps I did. I just personally always do it because I feel like the more protection I have on my face underneath my makeup, the better off I'll be. So this hydrates up to 24 hours. It primes the skin. It protects with broad spectrum SPF 15. At least it's 15 and it's not like 50 because it would be super greasy if that's the case. It helps minimize the appearance of pores. It smooths, it conceals and covers for an even skin tone. This is a mattifying one. It brightens and provides all day long comfort on the skin. So this has 9 benefits. So for today's tutorial, I'm gonna put some of this just on my brush. And I want to kind of put in like that much because you can always add more. Okay, so what I like to do is dab, 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 dab. Just kind of dab this all over your skin. A common mistake I see is people do not blend things under their chin and into their neck. That is a huge mistake. You want everything to look like the same skin. You don't ever want there to be a separation from your face and your neck. It just kind of looks strange to others. So notice I'm not wiping, I'm pushing it into my skin. This is the point where I remembered to put my hair back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put on these cat ears. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go in with my concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the color light beige. This is a very full coverage concealer. It is by far my favorite concealer right now. So I'm gonna wipe off the excess, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to use your concealer to highlight your skin. So the way I like to do it is kind of in a triangle underneath the eye. And if you look down, okay, if you put your face down, you can kind of see the contour of your face. Okay, this is kind of going to be a baseline from where the light part is going to be and where the dark parts are going to be. Anything you make lighter is going to bring it forward. Anything you make darker is going to push it back. So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw a line. Notice it's kind of in a triangle shape. Essentially what you want under your eyes to look like. The next part of the skin that I'm going to highlight is the forehead. So I'm gonna highlight most of my forehead, but I am gonna darken up just up here just to sort of shorten my face a little. So we're gonna just, I'm gonna take a little more product, and then we're gonna just kind of make a triangle going this way. The next one I'm going to do is my nose. And the way I contour my nose, I'm not gonna go too much in depth into this video because I feel like this could be a video all on its own, and I do plan on making one, but I have a huge nose, in my opinion at least, it's huge. So what I wanna do to contour is I'm gonna draw a line here, and everybody's nose is different. So you may not contour your nose the way I'm doing it, but if you have a large nose, this might be a good way for you to do it. And I just like to make a little dot because this is what's gonna create the cute little shiny point at the tip of your nose. So my chin is a normal size chin. If your chin is larger, maybe you don't wanna put as much highlight as me. If your chin is shorter, maybe you wanna highlight most of it. But mine, I would say, is middle of the road, so I'm just gonna do what I think is a normal amount. But you do wanna create the shape of an oval. That's the ideal shape on a woman's face. So I like to just go in and highlight this area right here and here. So now that I have my highlight on my skin, I like to go in with a damp beauty blender. This beauty blender, I think, is from Real Techniques. You can go in with a brush, you can use your fingers, whatever you feel comfortable with. I personally like a beauty blender. So I just went ahead and I moistened this in the sink. You just want it to be kind of squishy. So you want to wet it and then drain all the excess water out just so it's kind of like squishy and easy to work with. And then what I'm doing here, I'm not moving it. I'm pushing it into the skin. I'm not moving it around. I want to try to keep it in place as much as I can. I did forget to highlight one very important part. I like to draw a line here and a line here. You'll go ahead and you'll push the rest of the product in. You're pushing with your beauty blender. And then you'll do your forehead. Don't want to spread it out too much. You want to make sure you go all the way to your ear. Okay, and then for my nose, I like to just blend with my finger. I really like to just tap it into place. that's it for the cream highlight. Now I'm gonna go in with my cream contour. You can go in with any cream contour that you want. There's so many different brands. I really love this highlight and contour stick by Pure. It's spelled P-U-R. You can get it at Ulta or online. And if you put your head down slightly, you can kind of see where your cheek ends and where your jaw begins. You want to draw a line in the middle right here. And again, very important, you want to start pretty much from your ear and work yourself down. My face is angled, so we're gonna go down, and I want you to draw yourself an imaginary line right here. You don't really want to go past this line. You just want to basically go and stop right here. And then you're gonna do the same. So I'm looking down just so I could see the difference between my cheek and my jaw. So this is the line that I'm gonna follow. Start as close to my hairline as possible. And for my forehead, highlight the top because I do feel like it will shorten it a little bit. And it'll give the illusion that it's not as big as it is. So what you want to do is you want to darken the temples. And this doesn't have to look perfect. You're going to be blending it out. And then what you want to do is you want to draw a line from your jaw. This is a very important line that I'm drawing because it's really going to give you like the cut. So you're going to go down and under your chin. This part right here, again, watch. This is what's going to give the illusion of a chiseled jaw. Even if your jaw isn't chiseled, you can get away with this trick. And then bring it down into your neck because you want everything to be the same color. Next, I'm going in with my foundation brush from Real Techniques. I really like to use this brush for a contour because it's very precise. It has the angled edges and it has a flat tip. So this allows me to be very precise with cutting out and carving out my face. So what I'm gonna be doing is, again, I'm not really moving this around. I'm really just pushing it into the skin. And I'm using like the edge, the side of the brush, because this allows me to be more precise. And you want to blend, blend, blend. This is the part of my makeup tutorials that I would normally speed up because I feel like who wants to sit here and watch me blend for 10 minutes? The reality of the matter is you do have to make sure it's super blended. And if you feel like you have a little too much, it's okay, just wipe it off. I think I had a little too much product. And you want to just kind of feather it downwards because you're going to leave this part highlighted. And then we're going to do the other side. You really want to get into your hairline. Makeup can be a beautiful, beautiful art on people, but I feel like it can destroy some people's faces if they don't blend properly. And I'm guilty of it too sometimes. So you really just want to make sure that you are blending. Push it into the skin. So under here, it's okay to use downward strokes because we are bringing the color into our neck. See how now I don't have a super white face and my neck is another color. So this is going to make it a very similar color from here to here. And you want to go ahead and blend that little angle out right behind your jaw. So the next step is to kind of blend it upwards, like into your hair. I'm lucky because I have dark hair, but if you have light hair, you might want to be careful because what you'll be doing is coloring your hair. So you might want to wear a headband. And if you guys notice, I'm always going in with my fingers after I blend because I like it to look super blended. And I don't want to move the product around my face. I want it to stay where it is. And where the dark meets the light, You want a very feathered look. Don't want any harshness. The next step I'm saving for last is my nose. Again, this is a completely different video that I'm going to make, but you'll go down the sides. And what I like to do is make a line, because like I said, we want to make our nose look like a cute little button nose. If you have a bulbous nose like me, the best way to contour is this way. You'll draw a line across and 2 lines on the bottom to sort of give that angle. And that's all I'm gonna put there. This next part is super important. It's the type of brush that you're using. I like to go in with a synthetic brush that's flat and thin because it really allows me to be precise with where I'm putting this. You don't want to just go in and like mix it all together and not be able to see any of the lines. As I'm starting on my contour, I'm really blending it downwards. My nose is gonna look a little crooked if I don't fix this, but. So you're gonna wanna blend down as much as you can. Try not to get the white line in the middle. And if you do, it's okay. You can always go in with more concealer. Contouring your nose is by far the hardest. At least for me, this was the hardest thing to learn. But you're not going to really want to exceed where that line is. You're gonna want to just take it and blend it downwards. This is going to make your nose seem more narrow because it's going to seem shadowed on the sides. Remember I said you want to blend out any harsh lines? I like to just go in with my fingers and dab it. And if you feel like you have moved around the dark concealer, which I know I have, you can just simply take a little more concealer, light concealer, and go down the middle with your finger. And then you're going to go ahead with your finger and make that cute little dot. And I like to blend. When I say blend, I don't mean wipe. I mean just kind of like tap it. At this point, you have contoured and highlighted your skin with cream. Now you have to go in with a powder and you have to set it. What I like to do is something called baking. This really brightens your skin. Baking is when you take your powder, aka baking powder, you get your beauty blender or brush, however you want to do it. This is the Ben Nye banana powder. I actually got this from like Amazon. I will link it below. You want to get a pretty good amount in your cap. So with your beauty blender or your brush, you're going to want to take a fairly good amount on there, and you're just going to want to press it into your skin. Okay, you're going to take more. This is like super saturated. And this can be really messy to work with because the powder is so fine. So the most highlighted part is under my eyes, and then I'm gonna wanna make sure I go in and do the rest of my face. All right, guys, this is what we call baking. You're putting the powder on your face and you're just gonna let it sit there. If you have other things to do, if you didn't do your hair, do your hair. If you didn't do your eyebrows, do your eyebrows. So I didn't do my eyebrows, so I'm gonna let this sit while I do my eyebrows. You wanna let it sit for like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I did my eyebrows, blend out my powder, and I'm just dusting it away. Do you see how bright that makes the highlighted part? So bright. We don't want any harsh lines, so we're gonna blend slightly into the part that we darkened. So you're just gonna like dust it away. You're not really like pushing it into the skin. You're just like sweeping it off your face. So you're gonna go down, and you're gonna dust this away. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with a powder contour. One of my favorite kinds is an oldie but a goodie. It's the Anastasia contour kit. This is what it looks like. It's my favorite. As you can tell, I love that banana color because I have olive skin, like I said, so I just feel like the banana color looks so pretty. So I do really love all of these dark colors as well for a contour. But guys, if you don't want to go out and spend like 60 bucks or however much this costs on this palette, you can just get yourself something similar. I also use the NYX, the NYX contour and highlight palette. This has by far the most colors out of any other palette that I have for contouring and highlighting. So I am going to go ahead and just use the Anastasia. I love to use my Morphe MB30 brush. It's flat and it's very blunt and it has really nice edges, but I really love this for the powder contour. But this is by far my favorite because it gets right into those angles. So I'm gonna go ahead with this first color over here. It has kind of like a grayish tint, and I'm dabbing both sides of the brush. I'm not dabbing the middle part, I'm just dabbing the sides, just the corners. And I always tap any excess powder off. You don't want to have too much. And I like to go in and just cut out where I put the dark cream contour. And again, if you look down, you can really see the difference now between your cheek and your jaw. And we want to feather. So I'm taking kind of like the tip right here, this part, like the corner. I'm feathering. This really helps to carve it out. And then I like to go into my hairline with this. Notice I'm not really putting much more on my brush around here because you want this to look as natural as possible. Less is more when you're using a dark contour color. So this is pretty. Notice how it kind of like spread out a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and clean that up, but we went ahead and we darkened this area, which is perfect. I'm gonna go in with more of this color and do the other side. Looking down is the best. Look at that. You can totally see the difference between my cheek and my jaw. It just pops it out. So then once I have cut it, I'm gonna go ahead and just feather it out. Blend, blend, blend. And so this part, I do like to go in and take a little bit more because your neck and your jaw is a pretty big area. So I like to go ahead and just dab first. Notice I have a bunch of marks. I just dabbed it. And then I go in and I carve it out. And blend down into your neck. Super important. The other reason I love this brush is because the lines are so straight. This is perfect for contouring your nose. So I'm gonna go ahead with a tiny, teeny bit, just like that. See what I did? I just barely touched it. And it's on just the side here. And then I'm gonna go to the other side. That's it. So now I have a little on each edge that I added. So because this brush is so straight, all you have to do is this. That's all you have to do. And to the other side, I'm using the lightest possible hand, and I like to blend upwards into my eyebrow. I feel like it gives your face a more natural appearance. And you'll go in and do your little angles. And don't forget that cute little line that we made right here. If you're not sure where to put the line, look to the side and try to look in the mirror. You'll have a tiny little dent Everybody has it, just a tiny little dent that separates, and yours might start higher or lower depending on how your nose looks, and that's fine, but you just want to go with your natural nose shape. And I like to take any harshness and just blend with my finger. If you want to make your lips look a little bigger, a trick is to take your dark concealer and just kind of draw underneath your lip. This gives the illusion that there's a shadow underneath your bottom lip, a much bigger shadow than there normally would be. And it makes your lip pop out before you line your lips with your lip liner. I'm going to set my face with a powder. This brush is from Real Techniques. Oh, it's their buffing brush. It's really good for buffing out harsh lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a color from my NYX palette. As you can see, I use these colors quite a bit, but I'm going to take sort of this lighter color, the second color here, and I'm going to tap off my excess. And I'm going to use this to buff out any harsh lines. So you want to do the top and you want to do the bottom, because then it's going to sort of give that feathered look. So you just want to lightly buff it out. I actually do take a little bit and do my nose just to sort of lighten up any darkness. And you can use the corner of your brush like this, like the side, and just kind of dab out any harshness. And then I'm gonna just do the same for my forehead. I'm going to set it again, and I'm going to make sure that there's kind of like an ombre, but you wanna make sure that it doesn't go right from dark to light. You want to take where that line would be and just kind of make sure that it's feathered out. This is it for the highlighting and contouring. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I did my shadow. That's going to be in a separate video, but I did want to go ahead and show you how I highlight my face. You can use any highlighter you like. You can use a powder or a liquid. Today I'm going to be using a liquid and I'm going to be using my feather brush. You can use your fingers if that's easier for you. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this highlighter. This is the Revlon Makeup Revolution highlighter in the color Champagne. It's a liquid highlighter, which I just love. So I will just take a little bit. You need just the tiniest bit on your brush, and I'll start working it, feathering it. Into my skin. Do you guys see that? Wow. Don't want too much because you really don't want it to look like cakey. You just want it to give that tiny little glow. And I'm gonna take a tiny, teeny drop more, and I'm gonna do the other side. Love my feather brush. Guys, I highly recommend getting one of these if you don't have one. They're just so easy to work with. I used to watch makeup tutorials and say like, why can't I get my makeup to look like hers? And that's because I never had the right brushes. You want to put a little bit here. And again, I love this brush because you can just use the edges. So for my nose, the tip of my nose, I like to just go in with my finger. Just go. Boop. Just makes it look so cute. A little bit on my forehead. If you feel like there's too much product on your brush or it's hard to blend, just put the teeniest bit and blend with your fingers. This part right here, again, I'm just gonna use my fingers to do like my booger lines right here and on top of my lip. I'm gonna take whatever product is left on my brush and I'm gonna go over this area. I don't ever add any extra highlighter to this area if I'm using liquid highlighter because it's super pigmented and super, so you just don't wanna look like you have too much makeup on your face. I think the most important part to highlight is right here on top of your cheeks because this is really the highest point of your face. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner and my lashes and I will be right back. I just wanted to show you the finished result. I did go ahead and skip over my eyebrows, my eyeshadow, my lips, because I feel like those are such in-depth tutorials that you really need a lot of time to focus on each individual section. So those will be in upcoming videos that I'm going to create. Thanks again for watching the video. Hope you enjoy.